Give Palestine back. To who? To who was here before?
Oh, you mean the British? No.
Shh, Ottomans. My bad, bro. Not ready though. Mamluks of Egypt? How do you know?
Well, damn it, okay, like a fire you want to go to the Ayyubid dynasty, conquer it rightfully from the Crusaders who took it back violently from the Umayyad and Fatimid Caliphate, took on good from the Byzantines, honestly, probably bad. I mean, not to be fair to the Romans, we know just you think about them constantly, not only them, but the Maccabees practically Buddha before from the Dead Sea to Galilee.
Pardon me, that can't be you mean the Maccabee dynasty. Didn't you get there last century?
Fallacy, talk about blasphemy, that's a historical travesty, 1,000-year-old archaeology. What about Palestine? Now we keep going, reverse chronologically, past the Seleucid dynasty, past Alexander, his majesty. Alex the Great? Yes, exactly, them Persians before the theocracy, back when you ran it and dream of Islamic supremacy. Then Babylonians, they lived delightfully, one of the richest societies. Now if we ditch all the vanity, throw back like Cardi B, who do we get to see? More Jewish ancestry, kingdom of Israel, talk about legacy, indigeneity, dudes from the Bible, that's TBT, IDC, NBC, ABC, BBC, no one can script better stories like SGG, David and Sodom and Saul, those are VIPs, real G's, RIP. OMG, please kill me. Those guys united the 12 stars of Israel. Set me free. Last on our list is the Canaanites. Let me be. And they weren't even one people. I gotta pee. But independence,
What's your emergency?
that's all the sovereign rulers in history, not even mention their random ones. Now you see easy as do re mi, 1 2 3. Stop with the 1 2 3. You're switching up my flow here. I hear the Palestinians never ruled here. I fear that's true. Says who? Says me. Says you. I do. Bro, stop it on this Dr. Seuss. I mean, you can't say they didn't live here. I didn't. You bigot. I didn't. Zionism is decolonization. I get it. Okay. The Jews are the native ones here. Slave. They might not have any claim to the land, but why don't you just let them live by you? Like nothing justifies occupation. Like you don't want them to thrive too. I do. So why don't I have a state? Huh? Why can't you just split it? That's what we wanted. That's a lie. You wanna run it back and let's get it. Okay. Let's go on the way back to 4708 case. No Islamic brethren, just UK. No JK ruling here. No mergers of watermelons. You got Jews and Arabs. You mean Palestine? No, cause it's not what they call themselves. Both wanted to live here. Remember what you proposed? That's what the UN says. You get about half and you get about half. Yeah, that seems pretty fair. I know. So that was accepted. No, you greedy little. The Arabs rejected it. Oh. Israel accepted, declared independence the following day. Congrats, bro. And the Arabs attacked them the day after that with 5 other countries at once. Whoa.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to a Conservative Confucius here, Shabbat podcast for Friday. Alrighty, so I hope you guys like that opening bit. I thought it was really, really good. It's from Idan Nimso. Really good. And you should go check out his stuff at IDANMIMTSO. Idan Nimso. I'll try to leave the name in the description and all that for you guys. So let's get down to it and do it. We're going to be covering some of the Israeli-Palestine stuff, some of the immigration stuff, and some Trump stuff. Alrighty, so we got a good episode for you guys today. Let's get down to it and do it. Don't forget to go down there, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and do not forget to share this video if you guys like it. It really helps us when you guys do that, and making sure you subscribe, that really helps us too. Alrighty, guys, don't forget to go down there and do all that, and let's get down to it and do it. We're going to finish this up for you guys.
Ruling here, no mergers of watermelons. You got Jews and Arabs. You mean Palestine? No, cause it's not what they call themselves. Both wanted to live here. Remember what you proposed? That's what the UN says. You get about half and you get about half. Yeah, that seems pretty fair. I know. So that was accepted. No, you greedy little. The Arabs rejected it. Oh. Israel accepted, declared independence the following day. Congrats, bro. And the Arabs attacked them the day after that with 5 other countries at once. Whoa. Yeah, whoa. So they whooped your butt. Turns out they're not good at war and we won. But then Gaza and the West Bank were occupied. Yeah, by Egypt and Jordan. What? Jordan took the West Bank and Egypt to Gaza. That's not the Palestinian interest. Well, again, they're just Arabs with fancy marketing, so it made no difference. Wait, that was the war with the Nakba. They say that you forced them out of their home. A lot of that claims is built on the hope you don't pick it apart like Sherlock Holmes. Like a lot of them fled. Sometimes because their leader said that the Arab invasion would wipe us out and it would go back to a bigger home and a bigger bed. So none were expelled. Some of them were, but if you think they're all innocent, you were misled. A lot of those villages helped attack Jews, left many dead. Security threat, but again, fair claim. I'm not saying it isn't, but a ton of people had a claim too. Like Indian Cypriots, Jews in Arabia, Sedut and Germans, to name a few. Also Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Jews in Europe. And what did they do? They moved on, stopped singing the same song, stopped blaming others for what went wrong, built something that lasts long, didn't make bombs, bounce back like Big Sean, not to mention they started it. Okay, what happened from then on? Well, the Arab countries kept attacking us, Egypt and Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, did it again and again and again and again. And the Chicago Bulls with Jordan. Yeah, until 67, we captured the West Bank and Gaza. Ah, so you are to blame. You attacked first, so you started that war. Yeah, that's what they love to claim. They said they were gonna destroy us, put soldiers on our borders, they closed our shipping routes, and they knew it was an act of sure war. It's called Casus Belli, you can look it up, and they knew it. Perfect, but after they lost, they convinced all their Muppets we started it. Kermit, I get why you don't wanna be friends. Give land, screw that. Who said that? That's the exact opposite. As a matter of fact, we gave back Sinai for peace. That's more than twice the size of our country, and with oil. And we offered the Palestinians a state a gazillion times, and they stayed low. So let's dream a dream like Susan Boyle. They wanna smooth it out like Billy Joel. So it's Sarah Soul, rejected MVP, suffered a conspiracy, no tinfoil. Like No, wait, offered them all of Gaza and more than 94% of the West Bank. They say this is their land. We went back, I showed you it isn't. Then they attacked us when we were down to split it. Then they said we stole it, and I showed you that we didn't, but we still offered them a stake multiple times, and each time they dismiss it. So whose fault is that?
Exactly. I want to actually talk about this part right here. Where is he? Where is it? Okay, so right here. So he talks about the Bangladeshis, the Pakistanis, and people, so what they're talking about isn't actually Israel. What they're talking about is other countries that had formed around, formed out of nothing. You have India, which was split into two separate countries. And the name of India isn't actually India. It's Bharat. Let's see. Can't remember. It's old. I think it's Bharat. Ancient name of India.
According to the Economic Times, though India or certain
stupid. Yeah, Bharat, or Bharata is the original name of India. So they split Bharat into India and to Pakistan, and then later into Bangladesh. So those people ended up having to move out of their lands. Pakistan is a Muslim country. India is a Hindu country. Bangladesh is mixed. So you had all these people leaving their forced out of their countries by the whatever groups into the other countries. And instead of complaining, they moved on. And of course, Pakistan did attack India and caused a war after riots and stuff were happening to Hindu people and then back and forth, and they were doing it against each other. And eventually it just led out to war between Pakistan and India. And that happened at the exact same time that there was war between Israel and the Arab armies. So no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about the other countries that did the exact same thing. And they just, those are valid countries. No one questions the legitimacy of Pakistan. No one questions the legitimacy of Turkey, of Azerbaijan, of any of the countries that are formed out of nothing, and they're just popped up. Oh, those people, they belong there. Really? Why do they belong there and we don't belong here? Or, why don't Jews belong in Israel? It's unbelievably hypocritical and stupid. All right, so let's move on a little bit. This was all loaded up, my bad. So we have more Pallywood from Gazawood. So let's turn this down a bit. Yeah, so this guy was faking a broken arm, like, oh, my arm. That's like you always fake broken arms. Like, you ever seen a kid? Like, ah. Okay, I've broken my arm multiple times. That exact arm. I've broken my scaphoid bone. I used to skateboard. So I broke my scaphoid bone. I broke, if you can actually see, I have like multiple knuckles messed up from a boxer's fracture when I was fighting and doing MMA. I have, wrist broken from more skateboarding and other stuff. So I have all of these bones broken. I've never held my wrist like this. I always try to hold it like that if it's broken, because you don't want to flop it, because that's just going to damage nerves and more bones. You can't do that. You're basically holding it like this, like upside down, like like that, because you don't want the hand to just go like that. This way, it'll at least sit without much tension. It's going as far as it can. It's not going to go like that, because you have to force your hand to do that. So this is obviously bullshit. And it's proven in a minute. The guy, he's in the hospital a couple hours later, moving his hands and fingers perfectly fine. I was stabbed December 4th. Hours later in the hospital, what? Finger is perfectly fine. We're in the same shirt, too. No damage, no swelling, no nothing. They would only give me one tablet of painkillers. So they're giving you painkillers. Like, do you want them to drug you up so you just, like, a heroin addict? Are you kidding me? Like, oh, now he's back out of the hospital with a haircut, and his arm is so painful. Boo-hoo. Beard cut, haircut, and somehow he's back in a little wrap on his arm with a sad face. Yeah, full of shit. That's all they do is lie. They just lie. He was a prisoner that was released, and he's lying because that's all they do. They're even scratching symbols into their arms and faces. Like, this one guy was like, look at this. They scratched a symbol into me. And it was just barely scratched, like a cat scratch, not deep, not anything crazy. And they scratched it into his skin. Another guy tried to draw one onto his face using red pen to make it look more like a scratch, and made it all like designed and like made it look like almost like a brand, but there was no burn marks, no damaged skin, no nothing. Like, and then there was another one where a guy like did it on the side of his arm right here, and he like scratched in like the Star of David, and it was like, do you guys think like the Star of David is just an inherently Jewish symbol? Because it's not. It wasn't used by Jews until like the 3rd to 5th century. Like, it had been used by multiple different groups and religions throughout history. It's a symbol kind of like the swastika that goes back thousands of years, used by different cultures. Like, you can't just say that just we use it now because it's on our flag, and it's called, we renamed it the Star of David to represent, obviously parts of our religion. But that doesn't mean that it's inherently our thing. And we would never, no one would ever scar someone with the Star of David and not think, hey, that might come back to bite us. Are you kidding me? Do you think we're that stupid?
Our people decimated. We were a people decimated, destroyed, and left for dead. We had left our fate in the hands of others, and no one came until it was too late. We were downtrodden, scattered across the globe, with nothing left of us except for a tiny glimmer of hope. But then, we rose from the ashes. Against all the odds, we turned skeletons into soldiers, poets into pilots, the defenseless into defenders, victims into victors. We made it to the promised land, but the threats to our very existence just kept coming. Our greatest bodies built tools for survival, and our greatest minds split atoms. We taught ourselves to see through the darkness that once kept us blind. We created the technologies of the future to defend our land, our sea, our air, and our skies, but not without enormous sacrifice. We became a nation of strong men and strong women, but never lost the humanity that wasn't afforded to us. To those who stand with us, we salute you. To those who stand against us and still seek to push us into the sea, we warn you. Never again will our freedom be taken away from us. Never again will we be left without a home. Never again will we leave our fate in hands of others. Never again will our sons and daughters die on their knees. This is why we do what we do. This is why we will never slumber or sleep. We know we need to evolve faster than the threats that have never stopped coming. Every day, we renew our commitment to never forget, never forgive, and to say, united in one strong Israeli voice, never again.
Amazing. Posted by Marina Medvin, and obviously from someone else, but let's see. CWBOCA on Twitter. CW Boca, I think is the name. Yeah, here's another one. This one was a video that, this, by the way, this person right here, Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupus, I've mentioned her before, is one of the prolific anti-Semites like Lucas Gage and Jackson Hinkle and Censored Men and Press News and all these losers. By the way, they blocked me on Twitter a long time ago when I was calling them out and posting their different social media channels and showing how different they're all plastic surgeryed up and disgusting looking, and how much they just preach Nazi stuff on their own social medias like Facebook and other places. It's crazy. So this person is not a trustworthy person. And of course they have a subscribe button because they're grifters, just like Jackson Hinkle. But yeah, so they're saying, oh, look at this Jewish person destroying Palestinian homes under construction in the West Bank, except for it's not true. These are shukras, if I remember correctly, which are like Jewish like apartment buildings. Yeah, sukkah balconies, yeah. It's part of, yeah. So a sukkah balcony is part of Sukkot, which is a Jewish high holiday. So during that high holiday, we have, like, I don't really take part in much that, like Sukkot, as much as I do other Jewish holidays, like, but yeah, so you see here, okay, so they'll make little balconies for Sukkot. Here you go. So yeah, spot Jerusalem dense neighborhoods like Zikra Moshe during Sukkah balcony, due to the Sukkah balconies. So yeah, you see these. That's used for Sukkot. Yep, there you go. See? Yeah. Yeah, so you can even see the remnants of the sukkah thatch here and there. Here. And how can we forget Jews and Arabs aren't allowed in Arab neighborhoods? Yeah. So yeah, this is the Ramallah lynching, which started basically the Second Intifada, and that's the symbol you'll see, the stupid little red hands, stickers and posters. That's this dude's hands after he literally slaughtered an Israeli person and took out their organs and stuff. It was disgusting. Yeah, see, all these signs will come up and they'll say death, you might get hurt, you might suffer injuries, forbidden for Israeli citizens, blah, blah, blah. But you don't see that in any Israeli city. You don't see forbidden for Arabs or forbidden for Palestinians to enter. It might be dangerous. No, it doesn't say that because we don't kill people. We only kill people if they try to harm us. If you try to stab us, we'll kill you. If you try to bomb us, we'll kill you. If you try to throw rocks at our heads, that are big enough to cause serious damage or even death, then we'll kill you. I'm sorry, that's just how it goes. You can't throw weapons at military or expect to stab a military officer and then get away with it, or a citizen, and not have the military do the same thing to react to that. You guys are dumb if you think you can sit here and attack people and then just suffer no consequences. People need to wake up. The people who think that they can get away with it are just idiots. And the people who cry like a martyr was killed by that. The martyr. No, he wasn't a martyr. He was an idiot. Also, judging by his outfit, this guy is Hasidic Jew, known for their anti-Zionism and support for Palestine. Yeah, so they're not which is crazy because they live in Israel. Why do you live in Israel if you don't support Israel? You think they'll let you stay when they take over? No, they will slaughter you, like they say on every single news channel in Palestine. Yeah. So Arabic architecture features patterned tiles and ornate wooden iron details. Jewish architecture includes sukkah balconies, smaller, simple windows, often looks more cluttered with a focus on functionality and minimal decoration. Yeah. How long is this? Oh, yeah, more suppressed news. Suppressed news right there. Okay, well, who's this? Let's see what else they got. Tons of different pro-Palestine channels, all bullcrap. They just see a lie and they just play telephone with it. Yeah, here. This is something from Canada. It may not be about America, but this is a crazy thing to see. And what Canada is doing, America often follows not long after. So I think this is a very dangerous sign to see in Canada, especially with all the arming the illegal immigrants. I've showed you guys the videos of them literally taking guns to migrant centers, Beretta rifles and handguns. So I don't know how you guys want to judge this, but I think this is a sign that America is doing what we think it's doing. They are trying to take over this country, and the Democrats will do anything they can to do this. I mean, Canada literally just asked for an election to be called, and instead of saying yes, we understand they want an election, this liberal says they don't want elections. They just want us to rule.
Living in one. They're not even hiding. Just a few minutes ago from the Liberal caucus meeting in Nanaimo. It is actually unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
America, what I heard this summer was Canadians don't want elections. They just want us to do the job. They just want us to govern.
No,
and that's what
they
we're
want
doing.
elections.
We're governing. We're taking tough decisions.
No,
Why?
you're not.
Because times are tough. And so, wait, let me.
Who created tough times? You
I'm
did.
speaking.
That's right.
So, the reality is like I said in French, is we know that cost of living is too expensive, that people
Because of
are
you.
frustrated with it. So what do? We do everything to reduce the cost of things and services. So that's
Like
why
what?
we have dental care. That's why we're working.
You don't have
on
dental care.
a
You don't have
medical-
health care.
Medicare plan. That's why we have also.
You have assisted suicide, though.
Affordable housing. And that's also why we're really working on
Affordable housing is
healthcare.
screwed.
These are all things that the government are doing.
Yeah. I have friends who moved from Canada, and they like in Arizona. They've moved to Arizona, and they are like, they say that our medical system, no matter how many people say it's worse, is better, and that's just crazy. Like, Canada used to be the system like everyone always praised, but it's horrible. I mean, even 10 years ago, it was horrible. Like, Steven Crowder did a whole video on him going in and saying he had a broken arm, and he waited for 9 hours and one before he left. He was told that the average wait time by a person who worked there was between 11 and 24 hours. Some people had been waiting for 2 days. Like, what if you had what if that broken arm had done internal damage and caused an infection, which led to a blood infection, and you died before you got seen? Because these things can happen. What if you had internal bleeding and you didn't know about it? What if, like, these people, they don't care about you? That's why they say, hey, instead, you just want to get killed. Like, we have assisted self-deletion here. Just come over and do it. It's insane. They have a commercial saying if you're suffering from sickness, you might want to think about getting assisted, self-deletion. And it's crazy. So yeah, here, this is This is Mike Shirkey, who worked with, he's a Senate leader in, I think, Michigan, and worked with Mitch McConnell and other people. And he's admitting that J6 was a scam, and that it was all a ploy by Mitch McConnell, Pelosi, and Schumer working together to try to get a further impeachment conviction.
There was 30 guards out back there.
Ridiculous. It was all staged.
It was all staged.
You think it was DC, the mayor influenced?
I think she's just a puppet.
I think she's just a puppet, he said.
How does that?
Hell, Mitch McConnell was part of it.
Mitch McConnell was part of it, he just said.
I was going to
He
say.
was the one that was part of the decision making how much security they have on stand.
He was part of the group that was making sure how much security they had that day.
I think they wanted to have a mess.
I think they wanted to have a mess, which Pelosi admitted to. She was the one who denied Trump's request for National Guard. He said, I can give you 10,000 National Guard. And she said, no, we don't want it.
They wanted to. There's no other explanation.
The moment, like,
But they wouldn't have had a mess with you guys.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had a mess if it was, hold on.
They would have also recruited this other group
Yeah, it wouldn't have had a mess if you guys had come. So I think he's talking to a National Guardsman.
of people. And then I do believe, because I don't know if you guys have been caught up in it or not, but when you're in mobs, you can get caught up in emotion. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's saying, I think that the mobs, like people pushing the mobs, like the undercover agents doing that, like you can just get caught up in like a mob mentality, and it sends people into like a frenzy, basically.
I was ready to go.
You can get caught up in emotion. And
Especially
so-
when you're getting tear gas and
So
flash.
some of those Trump folks probably just got caught up in
And some people just got caught up in the mob, like they were just walking and getting pushed and pushed and pushed. Getting pushed, and like they just didn't have any ability to go backwards because they were just being pushed forward and told to go, and it did just happen to get caught up in all that.
Well, they had a guy with a loudspeaker up on that tower. There was a tower in the middle of everything in the back. And there was a dude on a loudspeaker hanging everybody on, telling everybody what to do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Reinforce this side.
Yeah, he was actually, he was one of the undercover PD police that was there, and he was later identified walking with other police officers and showed his ID. Did a whole video on that like months ago.
Like they're going through over here. Like it was definitely something to behold.
I'm sure it was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and he's like saying, I'm sure it was fantastic for the press, But yeah, we get the point. We'll move on. And this is all loaded up. I hate when it does it. Redoes this. So yeah, we're gonna get into some Haitian immigrant stuff. So yeah, Haitian immigrant stalks an 11-year-old white girl saved by the store owner. He comes up to her and starts getting way too close, putting his arms around her, whispering in her face and her ear. I don't know. He's trying to whisper something, maybe kiss her. I'm not sure. And he's saying, "I want to pay for something." He wants to pay for her food, I'm guessing. The mom there is trying to stop, say, "Hey, you should come back here. Come back behind us, behind the counter." And the other woman comes out. Looks like a Hispanic woman, actually. And she comes out to protect the other girl, the little girl. And yeah, I think they say, get out, leave the store. And he walks off. Yeah, she walks up. I'm assuming to lock the door. Yeah, crazy. That's just a little bit of what we're getting into. So this is a Haitian woman talking to I guess you'd say a visitor or traveler, whatever, a tourist. And she's talking to her and she's saying, "Why is your cat on a string?" And she tells her why.
Somebody married you for prendre.
Yeah, pour qu'ils aillent apprendre.
Pour manger.
Oh, she says that she is keeping this little cat here and she's tying it up so that nobody steals it. And I said, well, why would someone steal it?
Because they'll eat it.
And she says, because they'll eat it.
Yeah. They're speaking Haitian French, which is slightly more like slang in the French, but you know, if you speak enough French, you can get by. I took French for like 2 years. But yeah, here's more on this from Ohio.
They killed his cats. You know, people's talked about their dogs being stolen and eaten. It's ridiculous.
Biden did this. We need Trump back in office. We do. And I'm voting for Trump. Trump gets back in office, we might get our city back.
He says, "I'm proud of you, you old fart." That's what he says to Biden. Just remember, no eating cats and dogs.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Springfield, Ohio.
Biden's so dumb when people said people are eating cats in Springfield, he thought he meant regular people. Like, no, the illegal immigrants that you let into the country, that's who's eating dogs and cats, not the good citizens of Springfield who lived there for however many years and lived there their whole lives and are American citizens.
And as you know, folks, my cameraman Lincoln J and I, we drove some 10 hours from the GTA to come here because Little Springfield, population 50,000, is very much in the news these days. Of course, the most infamous allegation is that the considerable Haitian migrant population, which is estimated anywhere between 12,000 and 20,000 residents.
Far more, 12,000. I have every source I've seen, and I showed you guys, 20,000 plus is what it actually is.
Well, there have been rumors that they've been kidnapping animals and pets and using them for food or for ritualistic sacrifice. It is really quite incredible.
In New York, they're doing ritual sacrifices.
Popular opinion that people want to hear. Yes, we have a Haitian Creole immigration issue. In the last couple of years, they have dropped off 20 to 30,000 immigrants.
There's a lot of voodoo
6 months has been
and black magic
insane.
in Haiti.
They are dropping them off by the busload. When I say busload, I mean the Greyhound busload full. They are taking them to the gas stations and dropping them off by the busload.
Even former U.S. President Donald Trump referenced Springfield and that situation in the debate a few evenings ago.
What they have done to our country, they're eating the dog.
Allegedly don't care about littering. They just drop their garbage wherever they please. Terrible drivers. In fact, we know of one.
I mean, just ask the Democratic, just ask the, not the Democratic Republic ask the Dominican Republic how they feel about the Haitian immigrants that have flooded into their country over the last couple of years. Like I said, my family, they're from Haiti, but it doesn't mean that my family are like the Haitians that are, doing all this crap. My family fled that because they were terrified of it. My family fled that because they couldn't take it anymore. My family that stayed behind, well, I have an aunt, a great aunt, who was just murdered by the cannibals in Haiti because she was running my Greek grandmother, who met my Haitian grandfather, came to Haiti to start a mission. She was a missionary. She went there to start a little foundation that was a school and church kind of thing, and taught kids how to, taught kids schooling and then gave them religion as well. And she was like a Greek Orthodox Catholic, or Greek Orthodox, whatever it is, Eastern Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, whatever. And she started that. And my aunt, when they moved away, when my grandmother and my grandfather moved to Florida originally, when they finally got immigration status to move to Florida, my great aunt, my dad's sister, took over the foundation and ran it. And she's run it since I was a baby, before I was born, really. Like before my dad was really born even. And she's run it since then. And old lady now, real old lady, was old lady. And she was killed because the gangs, whatever they're called, the cannibal gangs, the ones that's run by Jimmy Barbecue, they threatened her originally. She said, "I'm not leaving. These kids are everything to me." And they said, "Okay, well, the kids are ours to mold. They're not yours. We teach them things. It's not your job to indoctrinate them. It's ours." And then she's like, "I don't indoctrinate kids. I give them the freedom and the knowledge to think for themselves." And they said, "We don't want them thinking for themselves." And they kind of had like a back and forth argument for a couple of days of like, tossing words at each other. And eventually she was killed, eaten, and her bones were sent all the way to where her children had fled, which was all the way in Port Royal. And they sent her bones to Port Royal. The police ended up delivering them to the family. And it had a note that said, "Come back and run this mission. We will kill you just like we killed your mother." Like, it is insane what is going on in Haiti.
One school.
The people who are actually good in Haiti don't survive very long.
Child who was killed, presumably in an accident, by a Haitian migrant. It is really incredible because when you think of it, Springfield, population 50,000, if that is a true number, 20,000, that's about 40% of the population. And these people are from a different culture. They speak a different language. Is this really prudent? I mean, I'm not saying we don't need immigration, but I can understand bringing in a couple of dozen, a couple of hundred people.
Even a couple thousand, but hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands,
they can blend in. But several thousand people? I don't know what the logic is behind that. But in any event, earlier today...
What the hell is on the corner of his mouth? Do you have a toothpick in his mouth, or has he got some gunk on his mouth? Sorry.
Somebody emailed
that is
bomb
driving
threat.
me nuts. I gotta skip in. Yeah, someone bombed Tourette's, I guess. The bomb Tourette's reported outside of City Hall and multiple other buildings in Springfield because I'm guessing people aren't happy. The migrants aren't happy with people saying what's going on. City Hall is closed down. Here's what I wanted to see.
Now, and Harold, the reason why we're down in Springfield, Ohio, it's about this issue where there are perhaps up to 20,000 Haitian migrants in this little city of 50,000. We're trying to find out what's going on. There are all kinds of allegations out there, such as Haitian migrants capturing animals and even pets.
That's true.
It's true.
My neighbor's dog, my neighbor's neighbor, went over to his house crying because the Haitians had just moved in, stole 2 of his cats and skinned them and ate them and threw his skins back over the fence.
Oh my God.
They got police reports on this shit. They steal the ducks out of Snyder Park all the time. There's no ducks. There's geese, but there's no ducks. They told all the ducks, and that's a proven fact. The police has already sat there, walked in the guy's house, had the swans and all the ducks hanging up in their kitchen. They didn't do nothing but give him a $150 fine.
Wow. Harold, this is...
get by with murder around here. They wreck everybody's cars. They're rude to everybody.
I mean, I'm not sure about them kidnapping
Car
them,
crashes are insane
but
right now. They're crashing every car they get into. It's insane.
with my own 2 eyes, they did kill my daughter's cat.
Oh
They
my
ran
God.
You witnessed this?
Yeah. Over.
Deliberately?
Yes. And we tried to get the cat up. They wouldn't let us. They was going to run it over again. So, and that's
Run it
just
over.
on Pleasant by Dayton Avenue.
Did the cat perish?
And no, it
Of
died.
course.
Yes, it passed.
Why would anyone do that?
Because
I don't know. They don't
it's
speak
what they
our
do.
language, so you can't
it's
ask
bad.
them. They just tell you no, 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 no.
Harold, this is absolutely fascinating. This story about your neighbor, is there any photographic or video evidence of the animal carcasses or what have you?
I don't know if the neighbor took the videos up, but I know he was crying and upset because they killed his cats. You know, people's talked about their dogs being stolen and eaten. It's ridiculous.
But what is behind this influx?
It's culture.
I mean, it's several thousand people
Oh,
coming into
the influx. That's Biden. Catholic charities and Biden mixing together. They're the ones paying for the Catholic charities are paying for the buses, and taxpayers are paying for their benefits.
For them to live here, they get welfare. They can work a full-time job, collect welfare, collect food stamps. They get cars, brand new cars.
Yeah. Well, Americans, if they work a full-time job, they can't get any of that. Homeless people are not even able to get food stamps in Springfield. Well, they're able to get everything. They automatically get it. Boom. They come in here. Boom. Get it.
They get rent.
Yep.
Why the American citizens are struggling.
Can't even
Has
pay rent.
crime spiked since the...
crime's off the chain, man. It's off the hook. You know, I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, they're rude to everybody. They think we owe them something. I don't owe them shit.
That's because our American politicians, our Democratic politicians, have told them we owe them something.
I don't owe them nothing.
Biden did this. We need Trump back in office. We do. And I'm voting for Trump. Trump gets back in office, we might get our city back.
Yeah, of course. And if he doesn't, we are losing this entire country, not just a city or two. Here's more on that. More animals being killed. Here's proof.
From Zion's Mission Animal.
This is, I think, what is this, New York, or is this somewhere else? This is from I Meme, Therefore I Am. This is, NYC, New York. It's happening there, too. They're sacrificing them, though.
Rescue. She's here today to speak for all of those who cannot speak for themselves. Yes. Hi, everyone. Please forgive me. I have my speech written. I am not a politician, and I can't wing it as well as our state assemblywoman and our councilwoman. All right. So, hi, everyone. My name is Maribel. I'm the director of Community Outreach and Events for Zion's Mission Animal Rescue, Broad Channel's only animal rescue. Chicken, a baby rat. So, in just the last 4 weeks, we have rescued a chicken, a baby rat who was tied alive in a plastic bag of coconuts, 3 pigs, and recovered a dead dog who had its neck snapped. There are multiple other rescuers who are local who have also gotten animals such as chickens, cats, roosters, hens, and other pigs as well. Unfortunately, though, we, the animal rescuers, do not always make it in time to rescue every animal as we have. We have found multiple carcasses and remains of animals on the beach, from chicken feathers, hen feathers, to their bones. Animal sacrifice, in particular, violate these legal standards. Sorry, so we can't see with my hair. Morally, not just legally, it inflicts undue pain and suffering on animals, often in ways that are barbaric and inhumane. And the remains we have found, I pray that none of you ever have to see the things that we have seen on that beach. No belief system should condone the intentional harm of defenseless creatures when there are countless other ways to express faith or tradition that do not involve violence.
Yeah, so let me move on from there to this. Hold on, actually I want to cover, is this it? No. Actually, we'll do this one. This is some of the migrant accidents that have been going on. A few. I showed you a ton yesterday, like 30 or 40 of them. Here's just like, this guy's like 4th wreck just today that he's seen, not just in the state, in the city, just then. Like that himself, no one else. And they think they're the ones who are in the right.
This is the 4th wreck involving the New Americans. How did this happen?
We are just turning right exactly.
Did you not see the car?
Actually, he was the one who should have seen us.
He's the one who should have seen us. Even though if you look, they turned this way. Okay, so they're turning left from this area here. They're supposed to stay in the inside lane, and they didn't. And they stayed in, and they tried to go in the outside lane. They hit the car when doing that, and then blamed him, saying he's the one who's going too close. I was supposed to be in this lane, and they're blaming him.
Exactly on the same size we should.
Nope, you didn't.
So you're saying this is his fault?
Yes. Because we give him the.
It doesn't matter if you gave him the signal. You were both turning and you messed up. I mean, this is going to continue to happen over and over again until we recognize this problem. Until we say, okay, no illegal immigrant can get a license to drive unless they pass an American driving course in due time. And it needs to be done one at a time. They need to be doing it in appointments, not just showing up. You means you schedule an appointment for this time, you come at that time, not showing up in mass and ruining it for everyone else. You tell them to do it online on a phone or a computer, which they all have because they're given one by the government. So they can do that online and set up an appointment to do so. Otherwise, it is ridiculous for us to have to suffer, whether it's at the DMV and waiting for 10 hours, whether it's, getting in accidents because these guys are hitting us. It's not okay.
You did this?
He's saying he was the one driving and he totaled the car, hit a pole.
We got to do something about this. We need
Yeah, that car's totaled. The frame is busted in the front. You'd have to, once the frame's gone, you're done. And it looks like the frame is busted. Another one here's, so there you go. This is the same guy, same day. So that was,
Anthony from there.
That's 4. They flipped this car. So 4 just that day.
What I got today.
5. Six. Yep. That's what's going on there. Where is it?
This is
what's going on. I feel like I don't know. Whatever, guys. We will move on, I guess. So yeah, here we're gonna go over this one. So this is some more stuff from Springfield. Proof of legal. This guy was actually half-ass. His video was more just regurgitating stuff we've already heard. So let's move on. So yeah, this is just so you know, there was just recently in DC there was the 3,300 sheriffs and countless police chiefs.
My name is Rick Jones. I'm the Butler County Sheriff.
Sorry, 3,000 sheriffs, 3,300 sheriffs, and countless police chiefs all went there to discuss border and crime. And so, just so you know, thousands of terrorists have come in from over 160 countries who are currently in our country and want to do us harm. This is according to the FBI, FBI Director Ray, who literally briefed them on this before they started their stuff.
Doing today? Okay, we're going to shut the doors. We'll start it out with.
Sorry if it's quiet.
Rick Jones.
It's about as loud as it'll get.
County Sheriff, Butler County, Ohio. I just came back from a national sheriff's training in D.C. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We were briefed by the FBI Director, Ray, the Director of the FBI, and several federal agencies. There's 3,300 sheriffs in the United States. The President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs of the 3,300. We have a hierarchy. We have a president. We have a vice president. President of the United States refuses states. They have a hierarchy also. He refuses. We were also told by Mr. Ray, the FBI Director, that there are more red flags going off now than before 9/11.
Jeez.
Okay? Man. When I say red flags, meaning people that are here in this country that are wanting to do harm to us. We were also explained we're bombing 2 countries right now.
Not really, but there are people who are bombing 2 countries.
These people
yes.
do not like us before this started. There's thousands of
We're supporting two countries, you know, who are in war right now. I wouldn't say we're bombing two countries. Like, I don't agree with that description, but whatever.
people here from other countries, 160 different countries. They're here not to be our friends.
That's more than 3/4 of the world is now in our country.
Because they're wanting to come here to the best country in the world, the way we see it.
Yeah. So, Aragua, the Venezuelan gang is now taking over more stuff. I told you about the hotel in Texas. This is it. Yeah. So they're going crazy. They have guns in their hands, knives in their hands. You know, shirtless. This guy's got a knife in his hand. That guy's got a gun in his hand. That one has what either looks to be a knife or a gun that's just so flat and straight that I can't tell because it's not a good angle. Yeah. It's going to keep happening. Yeah, Venezuelans now are forcing, like I showed you a video of Venezuelans forcing a young black woman out of her home in a small town outside of, I think, what was it, somewhere in the East Coast. It was Baltimore or Boston or something, like an hour outside of there. And now they're forcing this girl out of her family or out of her home as well. So this is something that's not just happening one or two places. If we're getting all of this information and it's flooding over in the last few weeks, that's because it's happening everywhere.
Currently being run out of my apartment by Venezuelan migrants. I'm being bullied to get out of here. And you guys don't have any idea the town that I live in, how hard it is to get an apartment here. I've worked so hard just to be able to get an apartment here. There is so many homeless all over this town. There are thousands of homeless people. Eugene, Oregon, where I live, has a higher per capita homeless rate than Los Angeles.
It's happening even in Eugene. That's insane.
Per capita, Eugene, Oregon has a higher homeless rate than Los Angeles. And yet, we're moving in people here and giving them apartments for free that's paid for by the taxpayer dollars. Meanwhile, there's homeless people all over the streets in my town. In this town where I worked my ass off to be able to have my own apartment. And now
I think homeless people should just leave the country and then come back a few months or like 6 months later and say they're a citizen of another country. Like maybe then the government would help them. I don't think we should like be helping every single homeless person. Like we don't need to be giving drug addicts houses if they're going to keep doing drugs. But like if we're going to give migrants houses, we should be at least giving homeless people houses. Like I don't agree with migrants getting houses at all, but it makes no sense that migrants do and homeless don't.
Being bullied out of it by grown men.
Especially since half of the migrants or more use drugs and alcohol constantly. Like they're saying in most of the migrant houses and hotels, they're saying there's needles everywhere. Like,
who were probably gang related, who were probably released out of prison
Yep.
to come to America
Yep.
to get a second chance
Yep.
by taking away mine, by taking away my life. So their
Yep.
second chance is my life, essentially.
Yep, and that's Democrat
They're
funded.
watching me come in and out of my apartment. They have access to my entrance, which is like enclosed in a stairwell. It is dangerous for me to be here. I live on the ground floor and I cannot close my windows at night or I'll have carbon monoxide poisoning by the morning. I live in a basement with 2 small windows, and if I shut them, I literally cannot breathe in the morning. So it is not safe for me to be here anymore.
no,
I
God,
don't know
no.
what to do, and I
Definitely
don't know
not.
where to go. I don't know how to get away from this because I don't have the money to move, and I don't have a good enough credit score anymore to be able to get approved for a new apartment. So I'm hanging on to this apartment for dear life, and I am being bullied out of it once again by grown men who watch me. They sit outside. They will sit outside in the grass all night long playing on their phones, just like watching outside of my apartment. I think that they're out there because there's too many of them for the small apartment. I'm pretty sure it's a 2 or 3 bedroom, and there's like 6 grown men up there. And so they're sitting outside all along the neighborhood in front of people's yards, just playing on their phone, but watching me come in and out of my apartment. And they're watching me with these sexual eyes, like they want to
Yeah, of
rape
course, they're
me.
rapists.
Like they want to essay me. Like they're thinking about it and they're planning it. So I am not safe here, and I need somebody to help me.
That's what they're doing. They're
No
scoping
jobs.
out things. They're vetting nearby, possible victims of their, barbarity.
I had a job when I moved into this apartment. I lost that job, and it was not my own doing that I lost the job. I confronted my employer about not paying me the wages that.
Okay, I understand that. It's happened to me before. And they, it was a Middle Eastern guy from Kuwait, screwed me out of an $800 paycheck and then stole a $1,000 stereo system I had set up in the store, a surround sound system for the entire store, huge, lots of money. It was all custom built, and except for the sound receiver, that was not custom built. This, everything else was speakers, all of it, and very expensive stuff. And stole it, just ripped it out, like told me to come in and get my paycheck. He wasn't there, and this was after I trained 4 new employees, so I know how it is doing that. So people say, oh, they might bag on her and say, oh, she just got fired, she doesn't want to own up to it. No, you'd be surprised how many people like get screwed out of wages. Especially it happens with like small businesses run by foreigners, and I've been screwed over by 3 different Middle Easterners, and mainly from either Pakistan or Kuwait, like those 2 countries. I think 3 of them have been from Kuwait, and like 1 of them was from, I think, Pakistan, I think. And it's crazy. Like they will screw people over. I don't even think they should be able to run businesses in America. They just do that.
He was not paying me all the hours that I worked. And it wasn't like a measly couple hours here and there. It was literally like I would get a paycheck and it's half of the hours that I worked. And then my next paycheck would be fine. And then I get another paycheck. Another half of my hours are missing. That's how this town is.
It's not the town. It's foreign business owners screwing over American workers and then expecting us to just stand in line and do nothing because we, they think like, hey, I get good hours here. I don't have to work as much. They're more lax on certain things. I can listen to music while I want. I can go outside and have a break whenever I want. So they give you all these great things, and then they think, okay, well, I'll just take advantage of you. And it's not, you don't quit. You don't quit not because you don't want a job. You don't quit because you don't want to lose the freedom you have with that job. So it's not that you can't find another one. That's not why you don't want to quit. It's because you don't want to lose the freedom of what you think is a decent job, but you're getting screwed over anyways. So it's this mix of like, oh, I like this. It's a good job. And at the same time, oh my God, it's a horrible boss who's treating me like shit and using me and abusing me. And that's like, I've seen that more with foreign run businesses than I have ever with American run businesses. I've had lots of American bosses. I've probably only been messed over by like 1, possibly 2. And every single foreign boss I've had, except for a couple Asian ones, they were nice. And what else? I had, that's right. I had a Estonian guy running a business one time. He was great. And then the rest were, every other one was Middle Easterner, and they all screwed me over in some way or another. Badly, some, minor. It was insane. One guy screwed me over for like $1,400, and I still have never gotten my money. It's
build on what they've already done.
Don't trust, immigrant business owners unless they've proven themselves to be trustworthy.
Argument for why Donald Trump had politically killed an incredibly tough immigration bill, and he didn't have a good answer. You know what's so ironic?
Yes, he did. He said the bill didn't actually go after the things that they wanted to, and you had to give a ton of money for infrastructure and Ukraine that we didn't even want to do. So signing that bill gave up things that we didn't want. It put money in things we didn't want, and it was further going to mess up the country with inflation and further set us back in different ways. And instead, we said, no, we're willing to do this, but we're not willing to do all of this. Like, you added a whole bunch of stuff in this bill that's not appropriate. And they said, okay, well, if you turn it down, then we're going to say you're not helping the border. But it's like, no, you're the one that did this. You could have made a border bill just about the border. You threw in all this extra shit. That's your fault.
That though, and really, it's disingenuous.
Yes, it is.
And I don't want to accuse you of this because you're just quoting her. What do you mean that's already working? It's not working. We've let in north of 10 million people.
Nope, far more than that. 18 million, close to.
All of them not vetted into this country. We've seen a spike in crime that involves illegal immigrants in this country.
Border Patrol says, they say 12 million. Everyone else says 12 million. That's what the government has been actually saying, 12 million, 10 to 12 million plus. But Border Patrol says it's anywhere in between 18 to 22 million plus. Like, Biden has destroyed this country. Like we haven't taken in, they said we've taken in more migrants in the last 3 years than we've taken in the last 50.
Particularly young girls and women targeted in those very violent crimes. We cover them far too often, almost daily now. So when you say she's building on what's working, what in the world is she talking about, and why in the world are you quoting her?
Exactly.
She's had 3.5 years to do what you say he just did with the stroke of a pen. What he did was reflexively put in perhaps a fraction of what Trump had had, but they won't touch his policies that worked because they have his name on them. That's about as childish as a 3-year-old, and it's more dangerous. It's more dangerous than someone who has a gun at our head because we can't even see it coming. We don't even know they're coming. We don't know who they are. So when you quote her for having done so much and building on that, that's really offensive because we're living at a point where if she really wanted to fix it, she and her
could do it right now. Boom.
Very quickly, I'm worried about one of
Tell Biden to sign an executive order.
The Biden administration with Kamala Harris agreeing to an incredibly tough border.
It was an incredibly tough border bill. It was a weak ass border bill that wouldn't have actually stopped any migrant crossings. It would just have made them go through more steps eventually still being let in. It wouldn't have sent anyone back to Mexico. Everyone would have still come in. If they crossed over the border, they would immediately be let in after just a small process to make sure that they identify the person. That was it. And we already are supposed to do that. Why are we signing a bill for something that has already been regulation since forever?
Bill that would have put more agents on the border.
The second tough border bill.
And Donald Trump killing it. Marie, in all due respect, Donald Trump killing it.
What you were doing in a debate, we call it this a red herring.
Yeah.
You're saying, look over there.
It's true.
Look at this legislation.
It's true.
Donald Trump didn't need that legislation. The president has 212 authority to put forward an executive order to shut down the border.
But why say none of this?
You say that this worked because 3 years into it, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden did this. Well, they could have, on day one, rolled back his 100 executive actions. But I think this whole discussion misses the most important part of the immigration debate last night. And here it was, Marie. When Donald Trump brought up migrant crime, which he is correct about, you have NYPD sources saying 75% of people arrested in Midtown Manhattan are migrants, 60% in Queens. That is the police department. The most important part of the debate was when David Muir looked at Kamala and said, how do you respond to migrant crime? She could have used that moment and said, Jocelyn Ngari, Laken Riley, I care about these women. Rachel Warren, mother of 5. She didn't. You know what she did? She brought up Trump lawfare. She brought up Trump trials. Do not tell me.
That's because they have no argument for what happened to these women and the young girls. So now Maxine Waters, with the race-baiting, nonsense, violent woman she is, who literally said, if you see Trump supporters, go after them and attack them, surround them, build a crowd around them and push back on them. Don't let them feel like they're welcome. Make them feel like they are hated. Like that's what she said at a rally or a little crowded, speech thing she was doing. I don't know exactly where it was. It was at a rally or if it was just, down in some part of the city she lived in. But that video went viral years ago. And like that was during Trump's presidency. It's disgusting. And this woman is trying to say anybody who has critical, comments about the Haitian migrants taking over American cities is because they're black. And it's because they're Haitian immigrants who are illegally here, not because they're Haitian, not because they're here, but because they're here illegally and their culture is destructive, anti-American, and in many ways barbaric. It has nothing to do with being black. Go look at Dominican Republic. The black people there do not like the black people in Haiti. And it's not because they're black. It's because their culture is destructive and they've had to deal with it for decades and over 100 years. And why do you think so many people who flee Haiti are like, hey, don't bring that crap here. I fled that because I don't take part in that culture. Like I've said, my granddad fled Haiti to get away from Papa Doc, a warlord dictator who was a cannibal, blood-drinking, child-sacrificing voodoo lord who literally had a group of people called the Tonton Macoutes, which means the boogeymen. And he would kill people and hang them in trees and sacrifice animals all the time. That's where that culture stems from. It all started basically around him. And now it's become ingrained into Haitian culture. Like they have death squads going everywhere. Cannibal death squads. It's crazy.
Well, let me just say this, that Haitians have been the victims of, not only our country, but Canada and France for years, historically. They're black, they're poor. It's the poorest country in the hemisphere. They have been exploited, and it continues all the time. They are not.
Guess who exploited them? The Democrats, Clintons. That's who exploited them. The Republicans have never exploited Haiti. America itself has never exploited Haiti. The Democratic Party of America has exploited Haiti to high heaven. This is on you and your party. It has nothing to do with them being black. And just because they're poor does not mean that you should have sympathy for them. There are reasons people in countries are poor. This country is poor because it is unable to have a country that has a governmental system that allows it to rule over the land. It refuses to do that. Warlord after dictator has taken over in that country, and they refuse to be ruled by anybody. The people who want to be ruled by somebody and have peace are then killed by the people in their own country. I don't respect people who kill their own citizens and say, hey, I just didn't like them. They were speaking up against things. No, that's not how this works, buddy.
It does not appear that they're seen in the same way that they see others. Haitians have been the victims because they were the first country to fight off, the repression of France. And, of course, France have made them pay a big price for it. Yes, I think they're treated differently because they're black, because they're Haitians, and because traditionally they have not been treated.
Oh, wow. Pathetic. Always got to go back on identity politics. Here's more proof about. So this is from Colombo, Ohio. I'm just going to read it to you guys. Ohio Attorney General David Yost directed by the research legal avenues to stop the federal government from sending unlimited number of migrants to Ohio communities. It says here that yes, how many people can they expect to take? How many people can we be expected to take? What are the limits to the federal government? Could this federal government simply be funneling millions of people into Ohio and flooding our country with illegal immigrants? What is going on in the current administration's watch? There's got to be a limiting principle. We are going to find a way to get this disaster under a federal judge, or to see in front of a federal judge. And it talks about
coming from the Attorney General.
Yost said it is his office will exhaust all possibilities before the worsening situation. The problem with migrants, anyway, and way too many migrants in a short period of time. The problem is a massive increase in the population without any communication or assistance from the federal government at all. In addition to available resources, locals complain about migrants causing crashes, stealing property, killing livestock, eating pets, stealing and squatting in homes, and killing wildlife for food. Yost said, but overwhelming our small town with massive migrant population, something, any coordination or assistance from the federal government. The federal government is in charge, is changing that in front of our eyes. So yeah, there you go. Not going to have to wait for him to do everything. So obviously they had the information they needed to. And the guy, David Muir, the guy who had the information from saying, oh, there was no people eating cats in Haiti. We've heard it from the, city commissioner or whatever. Well, the city commissioner actually has property he owns in Springfield, Ohio. So he doesn't want the value to go down. And he's the one who said to David Muir, he's the one who confirmed that wasn't happening, but it's not true. It's all lies. Even the AG of Ohio is saying it's happening. And so David Muir lied on television and, fake false check or false fact check. Fake false fact check? No.
Plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses.
But we've got to increase the corporate tax rate. State taxes are going to have to go up.
I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people.
I will snatch their patent so that we will take over. The question is, do you have the will to do it? I have the will to do it.
The cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people.
Bidenomics is working. It's working. It's a term we're very proud of, I must tell you.
I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies. Now, I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country.
Every word this woman says during that debate is a literal lie. It's insane. This is amazing. This video made me tear up. So when Trump heard about this little fan, Liam, having a rare brain and hormone disorder, he decided to send him a little letter and some stuff. I think he got like something else, like some stickers, and I think he sent like a box too with like a hat. I saw another post about that. So he got a few things. This was just the envelope inside the box, and so he sends them that, and it's real cute, real heart wrenching.
Can you read it? Out loud?
Getting sad. Sure. Not sad, but he's happy.
It says,
happy tears.
Dear Liam, happy 8th birthday. Mrs. Trump and I hope you enjoy this special occasion surrounded by the love of your family and friends. We are so encouraged by the strength and determination you have shown throughout your young life and send our love and best wishes to you as you continue to fight. Remember, you are never alone, and we are keeping you in our thoughts and prayers for continued health, for continued care and good health. May God bless you and your family. Stay strong. Sincerely. Can you tell me who signed that? He knew it was your birthday coming up? What do you say to him?
Thank you. I love you.
What else do you say?
Thank you.
So sweet. You'd never see that from Biden or Kamala, I'll tell you that right now. So here, let's find out a little bit more about Kamala.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women.
Are you his daughter?
I wouldn't say she's fine at all in any way, but she got a crazy big forehead. But he goes, someone comes up to her and says, "Are you his daughter?" She's like, no, because they're sleeping together. He's like 50, 60 years old. She's like barely 21, 22, 23 years old.
And fast cars.
She could be a little older.
You should from now on address me as the
There she is right there. Look at that. Always on Willie Brown's D-I-C-K. She gets on her knees for that man.
If ever a man and a municipality were made for each other, it is this man, this place.
Always been on her knees for him. But yeah, alrighty guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. I appreciate you guys coming down. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, please. Make sure you guys do that. Please go down there and subscribe. It really helps us out. Alrighty guys, don't forget to share this video if you guys like it. I will catch you in the next one. All right guys, have a good one.